Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Just Enough Heshy Show. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes, my listening audience. Today, it's just Heshy. Esty is going to be traveling on Israel, and she's going out to a party tonight. And Neil's daughter, Estedina, the beautiful Estedina, is getting engaged tonight. So my voice of reason, the one person to control me tonight, is not here. So guys, ladies, men, kids, I am unhinged. I'm ready to rock and roll. Now, um, we are gonna have Neil maybe pop in for a couple of minutes, so that'll be good. Maybe he can calm me down a little bit. And we're gonna have a beautiful guest coming on the show, a wonderful person. Her name is Toby Rubinson Schreier. She's a Orthodox rabbi. So if anybody has problems, I would like you to call the show tonight. We're switching sides. We're going from the Reform Reconstructionist or ideas or ideals, and we're going to see what a lady rabbi who is an Orthodox lady rabbi has to say about it, and we're going to hear her story about it in a minute. So 718-303-9090, and I'm going to talk a little bit about last night's show in a minute, and I'm going to let you call in. Again, call into the show. You have a comment, because I got a lot of emails, and I'm going to start with my quote, because I can't go on right now without my quote, because without that, I'm not going to be able to deal with it. And thank God Neil's not here to make fun of me, and none of my co-hosts are here to make fun of me, so everybody have a good laugh. And this is for everybody out there. And this specifically is going to introduce our new guest tonight, because what I've read about her and what I've heard about her, this is who in a small package and not with a lot of insight yet to her, have learned to this. I spoke to Zev Brenner about her a little bit today. She's a good friend of his, and he says she's a wonderful, wonderful person. So I want to hear what she has to say. Tonight's quote: "Live daringly, boldly, fearlessly, taste the relish to be found in life, and waking up to a new day each day, and having put forth the best within you." My friends, life is tough. I've gone through tough times. I've gone through bad times. I still haven't talked about something that I've gone through recently, a couple of years ago, that I can't get out of my brain. It knocks you down. It builds you up. Again, every day is a challenge. Every day, wake up and taste the relish. Taste, what I mean is to taste the sweetness of life. Taste that there has to be something there. There has to be something there. Now, we're gonna start my show tonight, because I have a couple of commercials, since I am the guy in charge tonight. So it's all me, and I do like to pay for this show. So I'm going to be announcing the Just Enough Heshy show a lot. And again, my producer last night and this morning screamed at me, "You don't tell everybody the phone number a lot." I said, "Well, the phone's lit up. You didn't pick up the phones." Everybody started freaking and screaming at me. So call into the show. Ask anything you want. I will take phone calls. I will be able to take your punishment tonight. I will listen to you a little bit. And my phone number again is 718-303-9390. The show is being sponsored. We have a new sponsor today, a very good plumber. Excuse me. His name is Anthony, 347-728-9675. He has 24-hour emergency service. They do maintenance, pipe repair, boiler services, hot water heaters. And recently, my mother-in-law had a problem in a house with the boiler and hot water went down. Boom, he came by, he installed it professionally. He has permits. And I personally recommend him. And if I recommend somebody to you, I know that he's a serious guy. And I know that he stands behind him. And if you have a problem with him, he's always there with a good guarantee to call you. So please use Anthony at 347-728-9675. Boilers, hot water heaters, sewers, and drains. That's a big problem in itself. So please give him a call. We have the Black Label Electric Cigarette, of course, that's which I've been smoking and Mikey loves very much. BLPREMIUME Cig. That's ECIG.com. You can order it online. I know there's a special running right now. You buy 10 for like $1.25 each, or $1.10 each, and you get one free. Or you can call my boy Mikey. And I love Mikey. He called me up tonight and he was screaming at me. He says, "Heshy, you're the man. Don't be scared of all those calls. I know what you went through yesterday." So Mikey, you're my boy. 561-239-5941. Again, 561-239-5941. We're also being sponsored by Sarah Shapiro Halberstam, a psychotherapy. She does couples counseling, and you can reach her at Sarah, SARA, at mytherapist, MYTHERAPIST.info, or you can just call her at 800-973-0323, extension 709. Again, 800-973-0323, extension 709. Again, my good friend Chaim, Mr. Clean, dry cleaning. He does free pickup and drop offs. If you mention my show, the Just Enough Heshy Show, you'll get a 25% discount. Or you can email him at Mr. Clean Delivers, Mr. MRCLEAN Delivers, DELIVERS at gmail.com. Or you can call him at 347-369-3051. And of course, my favorite company, Green Line Building Solutions. We do asbestos, lead inspections, DOB and HPD code compliance, violations, permits and plans, preventative maintenance. We do stop work lift order. We do stop work lift orders, and we come down and we show you how to get to the finish line. Our job is to walk through the sites, tell you where you're wrong. I scream at you, we scream at you, and we tell you, listen, man, you want to pass, you want to do it right, you want to make sure everybody's safe. Follow the rules. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about yesterday's show before my guest gets here. I don't understand a lot of you people out there. I mean, this is going to be a very hot show. This is going to be a hot program because not only am I going to talk to Toby Rubenstein about her issues and her past and how she's come from troubles and strife, and I'm sure she was agitated, and and sometimes when you just get, even though you don't lose everything, sometimes just the depression can get to you, what she's done, and you will hear her story, how she's come back. I am a lover of Jews. I'm a lover of people. And some of you callers yesterday are hateful people, hateful to the Jewish brothers and sisters. Yes, the cantor yesterday was a progressive rabbi. Yes, her ideals of God and Moses maybe are a little different, but she is a Jew. She is a human being. She was telling me after the show that their congregants collect money for grocery bills in the middle of Borough Park. Where do you think they're going to pay somebody's grocery bill? Of course, they're going to pay a religious, even a non-religious person. Somebody who doesn't have money for food, they collect it, they go in and they go pay a bill for somebody. Wow, blows you away. Those are the little things. They don't have to do the big things. They don't have to blow up the world. They don't have to save 1 million people, one person at a time. And a lot of the callers were there, and a lot of my emails called me disgusting. How could you be like this? You are going to burn in hell. But let me tell you something. I had a fight today with my sons, and they said, oh, how could you talk against the Torah and God? You know what? I'm going to make a proof to you. I am sent here by God. I am sent here to lead you. I am here to tell you my opinion. I'm here to tell you many things. I know what God wants. God wants us to be good to one another. You people have a problem with God because you hate the Orthodox, hate the religious, hate the conservative. You know what? Any Orthodox person who hates another person, who hates another Jew, is not an Orthodox Jew. And when you go up to the Almighty God in heaven and you stand before the heavenly court, if you believe in one, you will be punished. You will be thrown. You think I'm going to hell and burn in hell? Let me tell you, you people who spoke to me today, and you know who you are, the ones on the phones, the ones on the emails. Yes, my buddies and friends who called me up screaming and hollering at me, you will be punished. You will be hurt for hating a fellow man because somebody's ideals are not matching to you. You're telling me if somebody goes out there and does good, or goes to the hospitals and helps visit or helps take care of another person, is not good? You know how many times you people have been sick, or your children go to the doctor? Maybe you didn't go to a religious doctor. Maybe you didn't go to a Jewish doctor. And when you finish with them, what do you say? Let's be honest with you. Say, oh, may God bless you. May God thank you. A nerve of you. These people are not Jewish. These people are not religious. These people are not part of your faith, or they don't daven in your synagogue. And you're thanking them? You're telling God to thank them? You will be punished for using God's name in vain. You know, the great Meir Kahane, who I happen to think was despicable because he hated other human beings. But the great Meir Kahane, he felt, the one good thing about him was that he felt that Jews should be good to one another, no matter what. Go serve in the army. Go fight for other people. Go take care of your fellow man. This is who Mr. Kahane was, or Rabbi Kahane was. I felt bad when he died. You don't kill another human being because his opinions are different than you. You don't hate a fellow person. He hated all the Arabs. He went through a tough time. Israel was fighting with their neighbors. Hey, you know, I know that a lot of you people think that God gave you the land. You know, a lot of you Americans, you little average Americans, you sit in your little houses in your little towns and you think, oh, wow, look what's going on in Israel. They should make peace. They shouldn't make peace. Hey, you're right here in New York City. Why don't you fight for what you got right here? Why don't you ask for your fellow neighbor to be taken care of? Why don't you all go to the hospital nowadays? Today, I went to a client of mine on Bedford Avenue, and I was sitting there talking to a nice young black girl, and she came over to me. She says, "How do I volunteer? I would like to volunteer like you." I couldn't believe when she said that to me, and I said to her, "All you have to do is go into a nursing home. Walk in there for an hour a day. Walk in there for an hour a week. Do any good. Do some good." That's what we do here. That's what our things are. Anyways, now that I've preached and I've spewed my hatred for you Orthodox people who believe you're Orthodox. I'm Orthodox. You're not Orthodox. You know, a guy like Rabbi Mizrahi told me, well, you know what? God watches us all. God is the one who runs the world. And then today my son was screaming at me. He says to me, "Oh, I'm going to tell Mizrahi what you said." I have a question for you. You know, the Israeli government has a Mossad, one of the greatest spy agencies ever in the United States. I mean, ever in the world. Why do we need it if God watches Israel? My beautiful guest has just arrived, everybody. Our beautiful guest is Toby Rubenstein Schreier. Am I correct? Shraya, I make mistakes. It doesn't make it. Say hello, everybody. Say hello. I was just talking about you a little bit, and I said a quote about you. About, I'm not going to tell you again. You missed it. You're late.
Sorry.
It's not a problem. But I was just telling my audience.
But I want to know what you quoted me. I want to know if it's true or not.
I didn't quote you.
Who'd you quote?
I quote myself.
Oh, okay.
Uncle Heshy, that's me. It says a quote every day, beginning of the show, middle of the show, the end of the show. And then I try to teach and educate the people. And yesterday's show, by the way, Toby, I'm sorry, how do I call you? Toby, Mrs. Rebbitzin, Rabbi?
Listen, you can,
we're going to hear your story. We're going to hear
you can call me Rabbi, you can call me Rebbitzin, all applies.
But I want you to know, yesterday, I was screaming at the audience right now because a lot of the people on my emails and texts after yesterday's show screamed at me that I'm disgusting and I'm unhonorable for accepting and talking even to a Reconstructionist or Reform Jew, that they're not good enough to be part of the people. They're not good enough to join the human beings. And it's just unacceptable.
I have to say that I'm a big fan of the Rebbe. And
that's the Lubavitcher Rabbi?
The Lubavitcher Rebbe, and he has love for every single Jew, and that comes straight from the Baal Shem Tov.
But not only the Jew.
It's good enough for the Baal Shem Tov, it's good enough for me.
But not only the Jew, what about a human being in general?
Absolutely. But we're talking about a Jew judging a Jew, and this is
correct.
This is asur,
which means it's incorrect.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. I agree with you.
But I want to ask you a question. Right now, my audience, and usually my co-hosts are here tonight. And as I told you, they abandoned me. I got you tonight, so I'm happy. I have a beautiful co-host sitting there, so it's even better than before. Esty, you're out now right now. I got somebody to replace you tonight.
I took somebody else's job.
No, you didn't. You didn't. She's beautiful too, but I'm so happy that I got you tonight. So I want to ask you a question. I read about you a little bit, and I don't know that much about you, and the audience might not know about you, and they're already starting to call and scream at me. So
why are they screaming at you?
They always scream at me.
Oh wait, I brought along a sweater. I'm going to do the long sleeves just in case they get somebody. They get a tzniut factor.
No, it happens to be. I want you to know because I did read about you.
Myself.
I did read about you not covering there, and I want to hear about that.
Go ahead.
So you are you're an ordained rabbi, am I correct?
Yes.
And it is by the Orthodox.
No, I'm not ordained Orthodox. First of all, there's no such thing.
There is no such good. You're going to explain that to me, and there's no such thing as anything except for God loving all of us. We are.
That is a very stretched out statement, Heshy. We're talking about if you want to zero in on rabbinic women, that's a different issue. If you want a broader issue, we'll talk broader.
I'm going to talk about women. People know my opinion of women are a little bit low, only because, not that I don't respect women. Of course I respect women. I think you're very important to us and to be used by.
What would you do without us?
Exactly, even though I don't want Hillary Clinton to be president.
First of all, you wouldn't exist.
True. Maybe that's not true. We could be hatched from eggs. God, supposedly the holy creator, the great creator, could do anything he wants. We were created from dirt, so why can't we just keep popping up out of sand or fish or whatever it is?
Because God created us afterwards, which meant that we were a huge necessity. Actually, you couldn't do it on your own, and you begged for somebody to be a mate for yourself. Correct?
I agree.
So I'm only quoting Torah, and I think that's the best source as far as I'm concerned.
Robert, I want to ask you a question. Tell me, I mean, I know that you are, and I don't want to get too personal if you don't want me, and you can at any time stop me.
I'll just say no
Okay.
comment.
You, of course, were married to the rabbi from upstate, the West Hamptons or whatever.
Well, that is in Long Island. It's
Look,
not upstate. Last
who cares?
I
To me,
heard, it's in the Long Island.
anywhere out of Brooklyn for me is upstate.
Chutz lamachane,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Okay,
Borough
got
Park
it.
is the Holy Land.
Oh, okay, I got it.
So
I got
pay
it, I got
close attention. So you were married to this gentleman. He's supposedly the rabbi to the stars. Whatever. I don't really
the stars in the sky. And what does that mean?
But I have a question for you, because this is a question.
That's a good like tagline.
And I have a lot of people who ask me about this. He was unfaithful in the marriage.
Yes.
And you left him.
I had no choice.
But that's wrong. He's your man, so he cheated on you. Big deal. Who? Every man cheats. Which man doesn't cheat? I'm not saying he cheats with another woman. Every man cheats with his eyes. Every man cheats a cigarette in the corner. Every man cheats on his woman. He cheated on you. Big deal. So he forgives you. He asked for forgiveness. I apologize, Rabbi. I'm sorry. I'm willing to forgive me. Let me go. Why didn't you give him another chance?
You're assuming that I did not.
Huh?
And so as a host, that's a really, really bad thing to do.
I know, I'm a bad man.
Anything.
I'm sorry. Okay?
As a newscaster, that's like a taboo to assume anything. First of all, you assumed so many things, but I'll just start with the fact that you assumed that I did not give him a second chance.
Can you tell us? I'm not saying you didn't give him a second chance. Oh no, I know.
I didn't give him a chance.
I did not. You didn't give him a chance. I'm saying.
You assumed that I did not forgive him because he asked for forgiveness and I said no.
No.
Oh, so then
I'm going to re-ask the question.
Go ahead.
He does not have to forgive you. I mean, you don't have to forgive him. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. He's a man. According to the Torah, a man could cheat on his woman. She has to stay behind, and you have to serve us in servitude, because that's what the Holy Orthodox people say. And according to God, according to all the callers yesterday, God told the women that you are second, we are number one, and you will allow us to do whatever we want, when we want. And if we want 1,000 wives like King Solomon, too bad on you.
Well, that's a lovely fairy tale that you live in, and I hope that when you go to sleep that you tell yourself that once upon a time story.
I don't sleep. I never sleep.
I'm sure your wife would. I'm sure your wife won't let you sleep tonight after the show. That's for sure. Or you're going to be sleeping on the couch.
I do a lot.
Okay, but whatever. I think that's a fantastic fairy tale that you tell yourselves. One, it does not say anywhere in the Torah that a woman is a second-class citizen at all. As a matter of fact, if you want to quote anything, it was men and women that were joined together as one being, and they were separated. And that's what Hashem did. Didn't just have a man first and then a woman secondary. And then how can you say?
But I was taught in first grade that you were ripped out of me as a rib. You are leftover part.
We are not a leftover. First of all, you were made from dirt, and I was made from real skin and flesh. True, so you were made from nothing.
Right.
I was made from God's image. What were you made from? Okay, so that's my first argument. Secondly, how dare you say that the Shekhinah, which is a female, part of the female part of Hashem, which is female, how dare you say that that's a second-class citizen? Do you think Shabbos is a second-class citizen? How dare you say? And you know that Hashem is made of male and female energy. Are you saying that part of Hashem is secondary? As a matter, how can you say that? And how would you insult a woman that gives birth to your children as a second-class citizen? I don't understand that.
But I was
what's your definition of a second-class citizen?
I'm going to tell you, I was taught by the Orthodox religion. Matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago it came up.
First of all, you can't label the Orthodox Judaism as one big flat education.
That's what everybody tells me. Orthodox is the right way, and everybody else is wrong.
I went to Beis Yaakov, and I went to Beis Yaakov, Queens, and I'm proud to say that I went from kindergarten all the way through graduating high school, and I was never taught that I was a second-class citizen. As a matter of fact, I was taught on the contrary. When you
somebody's on the phone. Okay. How did they get on the phone?
I don't know.
We didn't even take a caller. Let's take the caller. We didn't even listen to Rabbi.
It's okay.
To Rabbi Toby's story yet. Okay, caller. Say hello to Rabbi Toby. Caller, what's your name?
It's SD.
Esty, that's one of our co-hosts, Esty, who was at a party.
Esty, we miss you.
Hey, we don't miss her. I'm Esty.
Esty, I can say we miss you, and because I feel the need to defend us Jewish females.
Yeah, but by the way, God made us as a partner. I mean, we were supposed to be a partner, not
exactly. We're not a servant.
In fact, we took a piece of you so that we would be equal, like one. You're a part of, we both are parts of each other.
Exactly.
Well, I disagree with you because I'm quoting again from all these holy people who scream at me, Rabbi Mizrahi and all these other people, say, wait. Let me tell you what they told me.
Rabbi Mizrahi says that you can do whatever you want.
Not only, I'll tell you exactly what I understand.
It says that if you ever make a woman cry, you're going to go to hell or something really bad. Like,
so
one care.
So can I ask you a question? You know, in the Torah,
God help Reverend Mizrahi.
Right, but let me just tell you, in the Torah, it says that if a man it's a mitzvah. It's a how do you say a mitzvah? How do you say a mitzvah in English?
Be specific. It says
in the Torah that a man must reproduce.
Okay.
Am I correct?
Okay. So
I'm being screamed in my ear by the producer that I'm a bad because that means what is
that?
That means I am I'm not a God believer.
No, you're.
I'm a questioning person. I don't want to just go be religious all my life and not understand.
I understand, but really, my suggestion to you is to get back to learning Torah.
I try. But this is where I'm quoting it from. I'm quoting it from.
No, you're not.
It says in the Gemara and the Chumash that a man must reproduce. That's his mitzvah.
Okay.
A woman gets no credit for reproduction. Zero.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's a fact.
She gets no credit.
No credit.
Oh, really?
It's not a mitzvah for her.
Okay.
That's what I learned.
What are the women's mitzvot?
The women mitzvah is to serve her man.
The women mitzvot is to light candles, to produce children, and to bake challah, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
And to go to the mikvah.
Clean the house.
Part of the mikvah.
Clean the house.
Oh yeah, that says that. That's you know what? That's the 11th commandment. Thou shalt clean your house.
Oh, you're adding 11. I was trying to cut a couple down.
Wait, no. That's 11, and under it has like a hashtag only for women because men can't clean the house.
Wow.
But they have to make a good enough living.
I happen to clean the house and do the dishes and know how to do the laundry.
So you know what? My answer to you is the reason why you have these misjudgments is because you're really male and female together and you take care of yourself thoroughly and you need nobody else. So that's it. You're an egoist.
I'm not an egoist. I'm an angel.
No, you're a complete human being. An angel? I don't know.
No,
you're not a male chauvinist at all.
No, you see, ST? You see my rabbi right over here.
You're not. No, you're a misinformed, equal opportunity disbeliever.
And a male chauvinist with mommy issues, isn't that like?
Well, but now we're not going. Now that's psychological. I don't want to deal in psychology. This is not like this is not Torah here. But you're not learned.
I'm not.
No.
I try to learn the whole Torah.
I try.
People tell me I'm not learning, but I learn every day.
The truth is, I think that you're following the wrong teachers.
The Orthodox rabbis.
You're putting all Orthodox rabbis together, but if you spoke to Lord Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, he would think that you're a Muslim the way you act.
Wow.
So I don't understand.
What did I say so bad?
Because women are born to be servants. Men can cheat on their wives. We have to just sit there and go, "Oh, thank you so much for coming home tonight. I really am so appreciative."
Wouldn't that be a perfect world?
Unbelievable.
Man, all you men, am I right? 718-303-9090. Come on, chime in on that.
Let's go back.
ST, you are wonderful. I want you to have a safe trip to Israel, ST. We love you,
trip.
ST, and come back quickly. I'm gonna miss you already, ST.
Yeah, he missed me. He's getting beaten up here. He misses you already.
Yeah. Right, you can hold your own. That's great.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry about it. She's gonna put me in my place. We'll see. We'll see if I can knock Toby down a little bit.
No.
Bye, sweetie.
Bye.
So anyways, everybody, call into 718-303-9090. But Toby, I want to ask you a question. Can I call you Rabbi Toby?
You can, but I don't want to disrupt, turn any of your
You're not turning none of our listeners down, because I was screaming at the listeners today that they're ignorant in the fact that you should love your fellow man. You see, this is something that you're going to like about me. I believe in helping your fellow man,
Yes.
educating the children, helping a poor person in the street. Go out and feed somebody. Do an hour of day of chesed and honor, whether you're religious or not
No,
religious, black,
Bain Adam La Adam is much more important
more
than
than
Bain on
anything in the world.
Yes.
Uh,
Bain Adam La
Can I ask you a
Hashem.
question? Can you explain this? And I was talking to Zev Brenner today. He loves you.
I love him, and
He says you are delicious.
his wife, Dr. Adina Berkowitz, she is the foremost Torah scholar.
Really?
I mean, she is a
A
rabbi.
woman.
Oh, she is brilliant,
Wow.
absolutely brilliant, and all male rabbis feel the same way about her. She is a Torah scholar.
Orthodox.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Can you tell?
And she has her own shul too.
Oh, I was reading about you also. You have something called the House of Faith.
I had the House of Faith and Fashion, which was a television show and a radio show. And I kind of said I'd rather be behind the cameras and do actually bigger events. So I went on to we now formed a company called the Tahor Group, which now is full-fledged into fashion. And we're doing a lot of events for Fashion Week. But we own an event for Fashion Week that we do a public runway with the horse and carriages in Central Park. And
I read that it's coming up in September or something?
September 9th. But we had our first one last year, and it was very, very successful. We had actually 90 million media hits from it, which was a huge event. And I have two partners, which Nancy Torres and Ari Zoldan. I'm sure you know Ari Zoldan.
Ari Zoldan, yes.
Yes, and Ari I know since he's born.
Wow.
So to me, it was like, it's great to have your friends together and put this thing together. So it's become really, really exciting.
Because the way you dress, the way you're fashioned, people talk about you. You're like the top hip religious woman out there. She is fashioned. They're saying, and I'm not saying anything. I was looking, but yes, you are hip and fashionable. Plus, you are friends with Russell Simmons. I heard.
I'm not. I'm not friends. You know what? I shouldn't say I'm not friends with Russell Simmons. Yes, we know each other. It just so happens that he is involved in my ex-husband's foundation.
I know he's black.
Yes, he is.
And he deals with the Jewish foundations.
It's not a Jewish foundation. The foundation is for ethnic understanding, which I think is just getting all religions together in sort of a kumbaya.
Oh wow! I met Russell a couple times at the Schwitz. I wasn't too impressed with him. Anyways.
Well, you must have saw different parts that you weren't impressed with than I did. But he's a what I like about Russell is that he's somebody that gives back to his community, and that's very, very important.
I have to explain to a lot of the listeners that he's very rich music mogul, Def Jam, and he does help a lot of the poor and wealthier thing.
And he is very instrumental in helping the arts, which is very important. The arts are very important in Judaism also. Art is very important.
Rabbi Toby, you grew up Orthodox.
Yes, I did.
Your parents are super Orthodox.
My father passed away.
Sorry.
Actually 2 months ago. And my father was from. My parents are divorced, and both of them remarried, and they both remained from.
By the way, I just got a text that they like you and that you're so much smarter than me.
I
like that, Mr. I'm upset with that comment. Producer, do not let those texts and calls come through. So explain to you. So you grew up Orthodox.
Yes, I went to Beit Yaakov.
And you have a daughter, if I'm correct.
I have a daughter. Yes.
Is she Orthodox or?
She is not. Although she's a product of Ramaz. My daughter went to Ramaz, and she went to Ramaz all the way through. And she chose to take her own path. But I really believe, like with everybody, your story is never over. It's a phase. It's a phase that she's going through. I understand it. I understand her reluctance to be Orthodox. Her father is not Orthodox, so I get that. The fact that she came from a mixed bag. I get it. But the truth is that I love my daughter, and she's an incredible human being. So I know that
How
she's
old is
okay.
she?
My daughter's she's 21 and a half.
So she's like a teenager, just coming out of teenagehood and still exploring, which I agree. Young people should be allowed to explore, should be allowed to choose their path. I know a lot of young friends of mine that swayed from the Orthodox way and have come back or have not come back.
Off the derech,
right?
Right?
Hey, I have no problem with that. I want to ask you a question.
Any interesting texts?
Yes, they're coming in left and right, and I'm scared to ask you some of those questions.
Go ahead, because I will just go, no comment.
So my question to you is this you were married to this Mr. Rabbi Mark Schreier? Schneier. Okay.
Schreier, yeah.
Schreier, whatever. We don't like him anymore. I don't like him. My question to you is, so tell us a little bit about you. Where do you do I understand you came from Queens?
Yes, I went to Basic Queens.
And you were married to...
I was raised in Kew Garden Hills. Right off of Main Street, went to Young Israel, Queens Valley. Rabbi Steinberg and Rabbi Schoenfeld at the time.
There was a Rabbi Newman also.
Rabbi Newman was the principal.
He davens with me. He plays with me. He's a wonderful man.
Tell him that I said hello.
I will.
He is really... such a wonderful.
He is a wonderful man.
The old school, knowing everybody's name, interested in your life.
Kind,
he was
shakes
just wonderful.
Your hand. Yeah, that is you don't see too many guys like that.
No,
I didn't. You are lucky. I didn't have principals like that. My guys beat us and had the blood coming.
We had the best.
He was.
We didn't have such great teachers. At sometimes we had really misguided. Actually, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt by saying that maybe, the old world ways were a little bit different than they are now. I had Rabbi Blumenkrantz, may he rest in peace. Rabbi Blumenkrantz who wrote the I think it was a Pesach guide or something that. Rabbi Blumenkrantz, he was my Taharat Mishpacha teacher, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, and 11th grade.
Wow.
Well, they kind of ruined our sex lives for the rest of our lives. So let's put it that way. It had residual damage.
So you went to the religious thing, and you got married to Rabbi Schneier.
No, no, that was a third marriage.
Oh, a third marriage?
Yeah.
Oh, I love you already. Oh, we're flowing. I got you. So how long was the first marriage?
The first marriage was 9 years. And
is that where your daughter came?
No, daughter came from marriage 2.
Marriage 2.
Marriage 1 was to a nice YU guy.
Ooh.
I did the right thing because I came. I'm going to say fortunately.
Was it a setup? No,
Thank
God, no shidduch.
No shidduch.
How old were you?
It was the shidduch might have been the Caribbean Hotel in Miami.
Oh, I love the Caribbean. Oh, wow, you're one of mine. I used to love hanging out the Caribbean and the Crown.
Exactly.
Sneaking into the Fontainebleau pool.
Exactly.
Wow, you're a good girl. I love you.
Yeah, that's what we did.
So you got married at how old?
21.
You don't think you were too young?
Whether I thought I was too young or not makes no difference.
Would you let your daughter get married?
If my daughter found somebody that she really, fell in love with her mind and her heart, I definitely wouldn't be against it. So, especially since she has the argument of, look, Ma, you did it too. You have no leg to stand on. You do the best you can. And it's like, I thought of putting her in Ramaz for her going to yeshiva. To me, was like an insurance policy. And then afterwards, let's hope that they go on to have better lives.
So you married 9 years.
I was married 9 years because I have to tell you, my father said to me, much like you, a bit chauvinistic. It doesn't really matter where you go to school or what you do. You either marry a law student or a medical student.
I agree.
And so I married a law student.
Oh, wow.
And
why did the marriage break up? Is there such a thing as love? I mean, the way you're talking, you must have loved him.
Hey, good evening. Good evening.
He puts on callers again. Who is calling? You can't just shock us like that.
Who are you?
I'm Neil.
Neil! That's another co-host, my voice of reason, who tries to control me, but he's not here tonight to control me.
Oh, but you're the one that gets a mazel tov, though,
yes,
right?
He's the one that gets...
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Mazel tov.
And I tell you what, I happen to have been married for 24 years and I'm divorced about 4 years. And the last thing I heard you say, the only thing I heard you say while I was on hold, was that you were married 3 times. So you gave me great optimism now, automatically.
I gave you chizuk, right? To move on with your life, right?
Neil, she's one of us, Neil.
I'm watching my daughter get engaged, and now I'm hearing that you made it through 3 rounds.
And she's going to do it again. You're going to do it again.
I would do it again.
I want to come to that wedding. I want to
dance. So do I. I want to go to it also.
But Neil.
Rabbi, I want to welcome you, first of all, to the show.
Thanks.
And, of course, I would love to be there. Couldn't make it.
Yeah. I would like to be mentally boxing with two guys. That would
Oh,
have been good.
oh, we'd rip you apart. Neil would rip you apart. He rips me apart every day. Go ahead, Neil.
No, I don't rip him apart. I just think it's very nice, really, that today's day we can have somebody who's not a male and can answer people's questions and direct people in the right direction and still be Jewish.
Yes.
Do you consider
you know, that's, I have a feeling that there are a lot of, especially probably women, who take advantage of having a woman-to-woman talk with a woman rabbi.
Well, I have to tell you that you're so correct about this. I actually have worked with a lot of, we'll say, very orthodox religious rabbis that find that they realize that some of their women congregants, especially they're going through really bad marital problems, cannot talk to them, and they refer them out to people that at least can give them the guidance, and not only religiously and faithfully, but unfortunately with your own personal experience. So
well, I gotta tell you that I wish there were more rabbis sending people to therapists than they have now.
Oh, God.
Because I think a lot of rabbis
they're not
use
qualified.
their position and they just talk things and people just follow, and we're not sheep. We have our minds. We're supposed to think a little bit. And I think the rabbis hijack these people's minds. That's what happened, really.
The only thing that I could tell you, the part of your statement that's too broad for me, is the term the rabbis. There are very, very credible, wise Talmidei Chachamim out there that are just Gedolei Hador, if we can even produce Gedolei Hador, our generation's versions of Gedolei Hador, which is quite diluted from what used to be, but it's the best that we could produce at this time.
Do we say that every 100 years?
Yes, I mean, listen.
Okay.
The farther away that we got from Har Sinai, the more diluted we are in our spirituality. That's just a fact. And if you go according to any the Beis Hamikdash, the first Beis Hamikdash, the second Beis Hamikdash was not the same holiness as the first one. After generations and after time, things get diluted. Other cultures seep in, life seeps in. It's your job. The only part that I do agree with you is the individuality. It's your job as someone that possesses a Jewish soul, that you navigate this world correctly, and that can't be told to you by a rabbi, but they can guide you. But it's your responsibility.
Yeah. I want to ask you. So you're saying that we get diluted through time from the beginning? So
no, I don't believe we get diluted. I don't believe it.
Maybe the Torah was diluted. Maybe it's not the same Torah we got in the beginning, and we think it's the same Torah. It's really been diluted.
Right, I didn't know you to be not an orthodox way of thinking, Uncle Heshy. I thought you were
First of all, we are absolutely diluted from the beginning. Even I
don't like that word. It's a negative word.
Okay, but
you don't have to use that word.
Okay, so then what is it?
We evolved, really. That's what we did.
I don't.
And that's what we continue to do. It doesn't matter whether what level they were on or we're on. I mean, because the planet will keep changing. It's all changing.
Okay.
You can't compare.
So you're saying that evolved.
Horse and buggy. You can't compare when there was a horse and buggy to when we have little smartphones. It's just no comparison in many ways, and therefore it didn't dilute. It evolved with things that came along as they came along.
Okay. I accept your answer. I don't agree with it, but I accept your answer.
Right. Neither do I, Neil.
I don't agree with it. Because
yeah.
Just let's take for instance, there's no more Sanhedrin. How do you explain that? It dissolved itself.
But there still is a Bezdin. still
no, that doesn't.
The Bestin does not have the type of authority that the Sanhedrin.
This is not what I call dilute.
The
No,
Sanhedrin dissolved itself because it was the world was so corrupt. They just gave up. Judaism was so corrupt. They just gave up.
1 minute.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
There are a lot of things. I know. You have plenty of time to sit and relax now while I have people coming in. But I just wanted to touch base. But the reality is that what you look at as that we don't have from the elden days, let's say a Beis Hamikdash or Sanhedrin or Ole Regel or any of these kind of things that we don't have, you look at it as dilution, that it was diluted and therefore it's not there. And I look at it that, no, it's a different world. The world is changing as God planned from the get-go. Okay? And that's what's going on. And I don't like that idea that you think we're worse off. In other words, because when you say we have a Sanhedrin or no Sanhedrin, you're making the Sanhedrin so vital to the world events when it's a Jewish thing. It's a Jewish thing. We have a whole world besides the Jewish people out there. So I'm not really sure why something like the Sanhedrin not having it would even concern you in any way, because in the time of the Talmud, they already dissolved the Sanhedrin, you know? So big deal. So we don't have it now. You know, it doesn't have anything to do with my spirituality and my relationship with God. It has zero effect, zero to do. Okay. It's a new day. Okay. In other words, just like I have imitation bacon in my house, no problem. It's a new day. I can have bacon tasting food. You know, and I can have a cheeseburger, and I can have all these things legitimately.
You're right.
Neil, go back to your party, Neil. We love you, Neil.
Thank you.
And Mazel Tov again. Thanks for the call, my
brother. Rabbi, thank you for breaking through the ceiling, the glass ceiling, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you.
In everything that you do, and I hope one day you'll come back on the show and I'll have a chance to see you in person.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Okay. See you well.
So, Abitobi, I want to ask you a question. Before we move on a little bit to the second marriage, today we have a lot of issues. Today we have a lot of issue. When you were going through your divorce, did you ever?
Which divorce?
Divorce number one.
You have to be specific.
I'm sorry.
Here.
I've lost count after 3 or 4. I mean,
no, it's 3. First, you're right. I lost count too. It's like my own Sheva brachas. 3 marriages, 4 marriages. I don't know, but I have to.
But when you got divorced,
yes, the first one.
Were you scared you were not going to get a get?
No.
You're not scared.
I was never scared about that.
A lot of women today have that problem.
Yes,
now, I came up with an idea. Not only me, I heard this a lot of the aguna, which is a terrible, terrible thing. And I think it's unacceptable that no man, and I scream at men, you better give a get. I don't think you should beat them up or hurt them, but you got to give a get. No question, even though I think they deserve it. But my question to you is, there's my new theory on this is, when a woman gets married with a man, they have to give a document saying, hey, I bought you, woman. You're my piece of property. I don't mean to be upset.
40 camels, 20.
Whatever. No,
20,
we buy you for a penny or something.
Whatever.
In your case, it'll be a big diamond ring. I got that. And you won't go cheap.
No.
But my question to you is, shouldn't the man be forced to immediately the same time give her a get and put it in storage to argue it out later on? But the get should be given. So if she wants out, she has that right with the American courts to do that.
Well, you happen to be right in the fact that has already been, we'll call it, institutionalized. The new ketubas have a clause in there that says that you have to, it's like a prenuptial agreement in the ketubah that you have to give a get.
And if I don't?
Then if you have a credible bet din, they won't let that happen.
But still, if the man doesn't willingly sign the get, she is not divorced no matter what happens. That again is according to Orthodox and all the.
I totally
so
agree.
my question
but
is, when he gets married, he's willingly now to do whatever it takes to get her married. So he'd be willingly to write that get. So that get is really kosher. When she wants out, instead of going through the whole process, here I present my ready-made get from day one.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And I think it should be SOP, standard operating procedure.
It's a good idea.
And I think it should be forced by all the religions, or all the sects of our Jewish religions, Jewish portions. But again, I'm nobody to say anything.
This is a very interesting issue, but it has crazy tentacles to it, and I'll explain why. Because Orthodox do not recognize a conservative or reform ketubah or marriage to begin with.
Well, in Israel, everybody's married Orthodox, whether you're Reform or not.
Right, but then again, if you're married here and you're Reform or conservative, your marriage is not recognized in Israel at all.
Well, according to the Torah, the second I put a ring on your finger, you're automatically married.
Yes.
So if I just say I want to marry you,
or you would marry me, married
lots of times. Well, you have to say yes. You have to say
lots of times.
Yeah, for sure they're chasing you.
Well, forget it.
So good. So that's it. Now, again, before we go to marriage number 2, what do you think of gay marriage? We have the argument here that now that it's legal in the United States, Neil says it should be acceptable. I have no problem with the gay people. I just don't believe that they have the right to use the word marriage in the essence that they're considered married. Go do a civil union, go get your contracts and negotiations. But the word marriage under God, the word marriage to me is that God is supervising this union. And if you want it to be under God's supervision, you cannot be gay or lesbian to do that. I have no problem that, there are people who have these urges or effects. I mean, there's a lot of other fetishes and so on that they do, and I can't stop people to do what they want to do. But to use the word marriage, the holy word marriage that's in the Holy Bible, again, unless the Bible is not real or it's just a fantastic contract that we're holding for thousands of years, gay marriage should not be accepted. And today it's being accepted even by the Orthodox rabbis. Not that the word marriage is accepted. They have the union. They have no choice but accept it. And yesterday we were listening that there's an Orthodox congregation that was gay. Of course, they're not acceptable by everybody else, but they do want to follow the observant Orthodox way. And too bad that they're gay. Stop us. We have our no problems. What is your opinion on that? Do you have any gay friends?
Yes.
Of course, in the fashion industry, most of you guys are gay there.
In the fashion industry, yes. Just in real life. I mean,
and you don't look down on them?
I don't look down on them.
Aren't they? What's the word? Not despicable. Decadent. Aren't they? Is it decadent to be gay?
No. You know what? I'm going to say something so crazy.
Say it. Don't be scared.
It's just as decadent to wear a $10,000 sheitel and a $300,000 ring. And go to shul, and parade into shul in Louis Vuittons. That's decadent. I mean, the decadent.
Why is it? That's style. That's style.
No,
decadent is to.
What is decadent?
Decadent is to allow your inner animalistic stuff to this week's Torah portion.
They're not. First of all, they're not doing it right in front of you. That would be decadent.
They are. They're kissing today on TVs. They're kissing on the streets. They're holding hands. Today it's openly to be gay, marching in the tens of thousands down Jerusalem streets.
Yes.
That is to me.
Listen, Tel Aviv is the #1 destination for gay tourism.
Right. And again, I was walking down. I told this story a couple of years ago when I was a young boy. I think I was 14 or 15 years old. I was in the Holy Land, the great land of Israel. My father just died, and I went to see his grave over there in Israel. And I was a man, so I wanted to explore the Holy Land of Israel. And I knew how to read Hebrew. We all taught how to read the holy letters, and I knew how to pronounce it. Of course, I don't understand half the words, but I know how to read it. And I'm walking down the streets of Tel Aviv, and I see a big, gigantic sign in lights. And I start to read it with a test, yud, and I spell it out in my head, and it said, topless. I didn't know what it meant.
You sure it didn't say tapas?
Maybe meant tapas. So I didn't understand. And then I went over to an Israeli.
See where your head is at.
But I said to an Israeli, what does that mean? He says, don't you know what it is? Topless. I said, are you crazy? In the Holy Land of Israel? He says, what are you talking about? We have not kosher. We have shrimp. We have gays. I said, no, it can't be. Not in the Holy Land. That's when I lost my faith in everything.
In what?
In everything. How could God, who controls this planet, controls this word, controls my faith, allow certain things to happen? Allow murder, allow unjust, allow men not to give gets and keep people for 7, 10, 20 years in jail, or it's just unacceptable. Slavery, and there is slavery. Of course, there are little children to be molested. There are things that I just cannot accept. And some people just walk down the street. Hey, that kid was molested. Too bad it wasn't mine. That girl was raped. Unacceptable. The man that gets away with it. That guy can rob $30 million. We heard a story from Rabbi Mizrahi. 2 men are in jail. Okay, 2 men. You see 2 men with cuffs, and this would really bother me. And one guy got sentenced to 30 years in jail. The other guy got sentenced to 4 months in jail. And when they tried to ask them what's going on, quickly they ran out. So you understand that the guy who has 30 years in jail must have done a worse crime than the guy in 4 months in jail. I don't interpret it that way. I believe that the guy who did 4 months is a very bad, evil man. He ratted out the guy on 30 years, so he got the worst crime. And the guy with 4 months got off the hook because he's a rat and he broke the Torah laws. And that's the way it is today, that we could just screw our fellow man and get away with everything. Unacceptable. Somebody who rapes deserves to be punished. Somebody who kills is worse than Shabbos. Not that Shabbos is breaking the Shabbos laws is worse. Breaking a murder, taking a life, hurting another human being.
That is worse.
And if I insulted you in any way saying that a woman is below us, I didn't mean to say it that way. I'm telling you
on public radio.
On public radio. But I'm telling you, for 5,000.
What's the punishment for publicly shaming somebody? It's death.
No.
Yes.
Unacceptable. That's not fair.
But it's true.
Every minute you're going to kill me the whole time.
But I'm just telling you.
If I'm Mechal the Shabbos, I get killed. If I embarrass you, I get killed.
But I'm not
embarrassed.
First of all, I'm not.
I know.
You haven't embarrassed me.
You're delicious. That's why I can't embarrass you.
I haven't embarrassed you, so it's okay.
So now we're going to attack marriage number 2 then.
Number 2.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
This is where we had our beautiful baby Lola.
This is where we had Lola.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So
what does Lola mean?
Lola was her grandmother's name, and Lola is my Gilgula.
Is your what?
Gilgula. You know what a Gilgula? Gilgul.
I know what a Gilgul.
Somebody's reincarnated. They say that the souls of the children that died in the Holocaust came back, and my daughter is one of them. She is named after my mother-in-law, who had a beautiful 7-year-old daughter that was shot at a make-believe beauty contest in Poland, and they shot the girls right in front of the mothers. And the only thing that my mother-in-law held on to was a very, very small picture of her. And through Auschwitz and everything, she saved this small little picture. And when she had some money, when she came to the United States, she made it into an oil painting.
Wow.
And my daughter doesn't look like me, and my daughter doesn't look like my husband. My daughter is identical to that little girl.
Wow.
And she knows. She feels it. So she's a Gilgula.
I have no idea what the... hello, Mr. Hello, the phones are... Hello. I don't know what he's doing.
Did we break down the phones?
I think we broke the phones. The
well, there's so many people calling in. We broke the phone?
He's pushing the show. Okay, we'll take another call because I have a very serious question for you.
Go ahead.
Yes, caller. Who is this?
It's Anonymous.
Who is this?
Anonymous.
Hello, Anonymous. How are you? What's doing?
Good. This is your old friend. Heshy, let me tell you a few things. First of all, she's not a Rebbe. She's a Rebbetzin.
She's ordained.
Why are you calling her
She is an ordained rabbi. She went through... Rabbi Toby, explain to him that you are qualified.
Since when is a lady a rabbi? Is a Rebbetzin? Not such a thing.
She's going to explain it to you.
Okay.
Explain. Okay.
You don't have to. You know what? I'm just listening to you.
Go ahead. What's your second issue?
What's your second issue?
So
you want to call me Rebbetzin? Go right ahead.
She's lucky. She gets 2 titles.
It's okay. You want to call me Rebbetzin? That's fine.
If they call me Rebbetzin, I'm gonna have a problem. Go ahead.
That's okay. No. Now you can get married.
No.
Wait, because if you're a Rebbetzin and because you're gay, you can get married now.
Oh no, I'm not gay. That's for sure. You can ask my woman.
You could be like Caitlyn.
No,
Rebbetzin, Caitlyn Jenner.
Rebbetzin, Heshy. No, it doesn't work.
Go ahead.
Next.
Go ahead. Did we burst your bubble?
Yeah. Yesterday you asked a question about the mikveh.
Yeah.
Remember, Heshy? Okay.
I did.
So you're looking in the Mishnah, Shabbos, Peirik Beis Mishnah Vuf.
Okay.
Looking in that Mishnah, and you tell me if she was right about the mikveh.
Well, we're gonna ask Rabbi Toby that about
What
the mikveh.
what's a
Is
mikveh?
the mikveh a requirement for all women? I mean, some people say that today you don't really need the mikveh anymore.
Why, if you're holding Taharat Mishpacha, why?
What does that mean, Tara? Today, who's pure? Who's pure? Who's clean? Nobody's clean today. After your period is over, a couple days later, go ahead. What's this mikveh immersing coming out pure? I don't see that. I don't really see how that works. I mean, I believe in it. Don't get me wrong, and we follow it. But what is this mikveh today? I understand we trickle down. We're diluting the Torah now because it's not like the olden days with the temple and stuff. We're all evil. We're all dirty.
We're not all evil and we're all dirty. I mean, the problem with you is it's all or nothing. There's no such thing as all or nothing.
Why not? Why can't it be all or nothing?
Because it's too easy.
It's not fair.
No, it's not. It's not fair. It takes too. You know what? You just don't want to work at it. You're lazy. So to you, it's all or nothing.
I go out. I believe if you're going to help somebody, you help them all the way.
Yeah, but okay. So if you help them all, why? If you want to believe in Torah laws, why can't you practice what you want? Why do you have to belittle the practices of it?
Why can't I pick and choose what I want?
Because you can't. It's not a Judaism's not a buffet.
What do you mean?
It's not a buffet.
Sure, Judaism is a jewel. Judaism is a gift.
You're right.
God
it's
came
not
down
a gift.
And said, Here is your
right.
Ten
It's a gift. It's
right.
a gift. It's not a kiddush that you decide that. Well, I'm going to have this one kugel because I don't like the 5 other kugels. I mean, you're diminishing this is a rich.
But according to
powerful
this caller,
and spiritual,
you have no right to ever have gone to.
You know what? That's his problem.
So again, it's
not my problem.
So that's my point.
That's not my. He's not my problem.
Right.
I don't walk around thinking, oh my God, this person's not going to believe. I practice the fact that I choose to learn more Torah, that I feel that's a gift that I've been given. If he doesn't feel that this is a gift that I should be given, then that's his problem.
I agree with you 100%.
Not my problem.
Thank you, caller, for your call. I appreciate it. And we'll talk a little bit about mikvah. I have an issue that I've been asking a lot of the guests.
You want to talk about mikvah?
I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to get to the mikvah in a minute. So now the holy Almighty God, which you say gave us this jewel of a Torah that's wonderful, he then went, and I asked this to every guest, he then went and killed 6 million holy, and in your case you have the Gilgal from one of them, you have one of the holy leftover beautiful children from that age, and the beautiful golden soul, and he killed 6 million of us. Some idiot told me the other day, well, Rabbi Mizrahi as well, he closed his eyes, he let the bad people kill us because we were evil. Another guy says, well, 5.5 million of them were not religious, they deserve to die.
Heshy.
I believe that nobody.
Heshy.
Do we have another caller that's busting in?
Heshy.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to tell you one thing. I don't know what happened with you, but you're crazy. You're a sick dude. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, your whole mind went blank. Heshy, explain to me what happened with you. Why are you doing this to you? Why are you doing this to your family? Why are you doing
what's
this?
Wrong with my family? Excuse me, young man, and you must know who my family is. My family suffered in the concentration camp. My father lost 10 brothers and sisters.
Your mother
wait a minute. Forget my mother.
Your mother packed you up listening to you.
My mother lost 2 of her brothers and sisters there. They suffered through the war. They were all tortured, a lot of those people, and because of the war, and because of what God did to them, my whole generation, I'm older than you, my generation, the 50s, and the people who are my age, I am a child of the Holocaust. We were beaten and mentally tortured because of what God did to our parents, and I had to take this abuse, and I had to be better to my kids, and I will not forgive God for the Holocaust. I will not forgive for him taking 6 million of my brothers and sisters, and I want an answer. Somebody better give me an answer, because when I get up to the heavenly court, somebody better answer me there, because they're going to
Heshy, nobody's going to answer you this. Heshy, nobody's going to answer you this, because there's no answer. This is what happened, and this is what's going on for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Thousands.
And the Holocaust is not the first. The Holocaust is not the first issue. It was not the first time Jews was killed. If you go back in history, you see a lot of history. Though we had a lot of you have from Rome, if you have other places, what the Jews was killed. So
the
this
Spanish
is not the first
Inquisition.
time.
I got
fashion
you.
are
We
hundreds
got you.
of years.
We got you. But the point that I'm trying to make to you is that I didn't mean to rant and rave
But
about it. But my
how can
point,
you say you're not forgive?
you're not understanding the point here. And all the people are texting me and getting upset with me, and that I'm no good about it. Again, I have no problem. My life is beautiful. Somebody has to explain to me what's going on, because this is going to happen again, and I want to know how to stop this. Maybe there's a special prayer that if I stand on the street and dance naked, this won't happen again. Tell me how to stop it. Maybe I can go with my talis and tefillin and jump off a building. Maybe, Rabbi, that would work, right?
I don't think so. But you could try.
Anyways, caller, I gotta hang up on you sooner or later. Let's take another caller. So you have no answer for me on the Holocaust.
I'm gonna.
The preceding program is a paid advertisement. The opinions and views expressed therein do not necessarily reflect those of AM 620 WSNR or its
Welcome back, everybody. We have a couple of hot topics here. I was being screamed at by the producer, and our guest, Rabbi Toby, was instructed specifically to go after me right now because she's sitting there too quietly. She couldn't believe that I had one of my mental breakdowns.
I have to tell you, I don't think you had a mental breakdown. I think that you are just expressing what a lot of children of the Holocaust feel. I don't sit in a position of being in a judgment position, or even someone that even can give you a qualified
answer.
Opinion.
I agree.
I want to tell you why, because I wasn't affected by it, except for my daughter. I grew up. My parents are American. My grandparents left Poland, way before the First World War. Actually, didn't even make it to the Second World War. None of my family was wiped out, so I don't know what that feels. I don't know what that feels in my own family.
You see, that's an.
I only feel it in a broader sense. As a matter of fact,
I heard my father cry at
I
night,
understand.
shaking.
I did not know about the Holocaust till fortunately, a very young Avi Weiss and a very, very young rabbi who I think was a Navi, and I think that it was a Navi at his time that we actually killed him. And I'm sure you know who he. I don't want to say it.
Say it.
I don't want to say. I don't want to say any like.
Why not?
It's Rabbi Kahana.
Rabbi Kahana.
I grew up with Rabbi Kahana.
I happen to like Rabbi Kahana,
okay?
But then
May
again,
rest in peace.
May rest in peace. And I met him,
and we killed him.
I was at his funeral over here on Ocean Parkway.
So I just want to tell you,
his opinions were wrong too for killing other people.
But for me, as an American Beis Yaakov girl in Queens, comes from an American family, a very young Rabbi Avi Weiss and a very young Rabbi Kahana came to my camp in the summer. Invited all the kids into the deck hall, put out all the lights, and showed us raw footage of the Holocaust that we'd never seen before. And then we had to get up and we had to scream, "Never again."
Have you been in Israel?
Many times.
Did you go to the Yad Vashem?
Yes.
Did you come out crying?
Yes, but not from the new one, the old one.
The old one.
The renovated one didn't touch me as much. However, the renovated one did touch my daughter because it speaks to a younger generation, so I understand it. But it didn't have the impact as the first one did. But I understand that it changed for the generations, for what generations accept, that pierces their heart. It pierces my daughter's heart more than the older version, which pierced my heart. The one in Washington D.C. does a little bit less.
Right.
they're also, the one here is a little bit less impactful than one,
right, because
but
it's more based for the
exactly for the general public. That they should understand
we're gonna have to pay for the show. So let me just give me a moment so you can take a break while they bring your drink if they ever show up over here with them. But so here's the deal. It's a Black Label electric cigarette. I'm not sure if he's gonna sponsor us much longer, but Mikey likes me, so he really doesn't care. Called BL Premium, BLPREMIUM eSig.com. Or if you have any problems, just email me at the Just Enough Heshy Show at JustEnoughHeshy, HESHY @gmail.com. You can advertise with us, or you can ask us any questions. And I've been getting a lot of texts and Twitters. Guys, I cannot reply because I got a great guest over here who's going to rip me apart in the second hour. So we're going to see what's going on. We also have Sarah Shapiro Halberstam, by the way, she was on our show. She's a Jewish sex therapist as well as a psychotherapy for couples counseling, and she taught us so much, a religious girl, and she helps people, and people got all annoyed. Oh, she talked about porn, she talked about this, she talked about that. Doesn't make a difference. You could reach her at Sarah, SARA, at mytherapist, mytherapist.info, or call her at 800-973-0323, extension 709. Again, 800-973-0323, extension 709. And this is my friend of mine. His name is Mr. Clean. He has free pickup and drop off, even in Manhattan with you rich people.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Brooklyn is the most expensive neighborhood.
Okay, and you can get him at mrcleandelivers@gmail.com, or you can call him at 347-369-3051. Or, of course, you can use Green Line Building Solutions. We do asbestos, lead inspections, DOB, HPD code compliance, violations, permits, plans. We help get you to the finish line. We do inspections, preventive maintenance. You can call us at 718-871-0382. Again, 718-871-0382. You can advertise with us at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. You can hashtag me on Twitter, which I'm still learning. I never can get it. I'm still a little out of it. At hashtag, even though you made a joke about that before, Just Enough Heshy, again, HESHY. Or you could just go on Facebook, Just Enough Heshy. I finally got you as a friend.
Yes.
You're mine. Please don't unfriend me after this show.
I'm not going to unfriend you.
You got to look at my daily quotes and my trivia questions.
I get them on my text messages now.
Because I didn't know I was going to get you as a friend. Now that you're my friend, I'm not going to torture you.
Now I'm bombarded.
You're dead, baby. You're dead. So, again, you're listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. I don't know why they're not picking up the calls, but you could dial 718-303-9090. And we're talking to Rabbi Toby Rubenstein Schneier.
I got to start deleting those last names.
Yeah.
The next marriage, I'm just going to, my last name is going to be delete.
That's it.
That's what it's going to be.
So we did marriage number 2 to who was that?
That was Harry Rubenstein. Oh, is somebody insulting you via your text?
They're insulting me right now.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
No, I have to also tell you, let's go back to the Holocaust thing. And I have to, I'm going to give you a very kind of a roundabout pat on the back. What I'm very happy about is, you could look at you as like the glass half empty or the glass half full, but the fact that you, first of all, you married a Jewish girl, you raised your kids to be from Orthodox, and they are
super
Orthodox.
More than me.
What you did is you carried on the generations.
I gave them the opportunity to make a decision for themselves. Right. Look, here's the right way that I was taught. Now, I didn't go crazy with a lot of things. I didn't let them be tortured. But you make a decision which way you want to go. And I'm proud of you, even with your daughter. You gave her the opportunity to decide for herself. You're wonderful. And that's what it should be. I don't think I'll be happy if my son comes home with another man or a non-Jewish girl.
That's a different discussion. But the fact is that you could also have a choice, and Apikoros, at least with an Apikoros, there's a spark of arguing. It's like the four sons in the Haggadah. At least with somebody that you've got a spark there, you've got something in there that you're still fighting. That means you still have a belief. You want an answer.
I want an answer,
and that's a good thing, because you could also choose to say, the hell with it, I'm not doing anything.
And many times many times after 51 years, I and not only me, you, especially you, the story that I read about you are just still here with us, fighting and coming back and just beautiful and smart and non-stop until. I go to my daily dafs and shares and learning, and I do argue with the rabbi, and they call me names.
That's okay.
And sometimes they tell me shut up and leave the class. I say no. A lot of them are scared of me because I'm Uncle Heshy and the synagogue board member. But my point is that I do not agree with a lot of the things that some of these arguments. I was asking a young man, some of the arguments in the Gemara and the Torah are foolish. They talk about dumb things, but what I was explained is that there is hidden meanings to learn out from them. I'm not smart enough to know these hidden
Well, what
meanings.
did they say? There's 70 different interpretations for every pasuk in the Torah.
Wow. Well, and again, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for a simple answer how to serve my Creator. I know that I'm lucky. He created me. He gave birth to me. I'm proud of to be here, and I want people to do good. I want people to do charity. I want people to help other people. And I don't know what to tell you. When people disappoint me and people get upset with other people and insult, and I didn't mean to insult you.
No,
I'm trying to show you.
You don't have to insult.
I'm trying to show
I'm
you.
not insulted.
When I walk down the street, I hear people insulting and talking down. And one time I went to pray by some Sephardic synagogue. I was on Ocean Parkway and Avenue between J and K. And they were calling out. They needed a minyan. They were calling people to come.
Right.
And there was like a bum, like a poor, nothing. And he says, I'll come. No, we don't need you. We don't. And then they looked for me. I said, are you crazy? You're not taking him? I'm not going there because I look somewhat Sephardic at the time. I'm not going in there with you. Unacceptable because somebody doesn't look like you or be like you. We have to be kind to everybody.
I really have a recommendation for you.
Yeah.
I really think that you should read this book about the autobiography of the Rebbe by Rabbi Telushkin. You have to.
I'm writing it down.
Really, it's an amazing book because it's about really an amazing individual, and his level of love for every single Jew, no matter what they are, is you can't even compare it to anybody else. And his philosophy and what he did and what he continues to do even after his death or supposed death or whatever. I don't, I'm not putting any labels on what that is. Mashiach, not Mashiach, whatever. Halavai, it should be, he should come, but that type of love that stems from the teachings of the Baal Shem Tov is just, that's the way we have to live. That's the way we have to live. You have to, you have to love every single person. That's the way you have to live. Okay. You have to live. So I recommend first of all, you would be so really drawn to the fact that he was such a real person, but he didn't live one life in public and then another life in private. He really was who he was, and he really walked the walk. Oh, it's my Diet Coke says
finally
VIP.
Arrived. I know. I'm so happy.
Oh my God! This is like receiving the Academy Award. Yeah, I'm so excited.
We are taking calls. Our producer walked away a little bit angry, but call in 718-303. We're going to take some more calls. So before we go, before we continue on, I do want to ask you another question.
I think there's a little shaliach inside of me.
Right, there is. So,
although you know what my father said before he passed away. My father said to me that I must have been a great Rebbe in my past life that didn't understand women. So I had to come back as a woman. Oh, God. That's what he said to me. He said, that's what I think you were.
So we're going to take callers now because I'm going to stop asking about your marriages because we're going to run out of time.
Okay, you'll have to invite me back a couple of more times.
So producer, push another button, producer. Give us another caller. Go ahead. We're ready for them. You're on the air with Uncle Heshy and Rabbi Toby.
Yeah, Heshy.
Yeah.
I think you don't believe anything you really say. I think you just say to get a response from people. I think that's a great entertainer that you are.
But my point is I still want an answer, even if you're right that I don't believe what I have to say. Why can't I speak for other people? I speak for other people. I am a very healthy human being. My health is perfect. I eat well, and when I walk thank God. You see what you just did? Thank God and bless God. And I walk through the hospitals and I see people who are sick, and I'm there for them. And I want to ask the question: why aren't you helping them? Why do they need help? Why isn't somebody volunteering? I'm allowed to ask for the other person. And that's what I'm doing. I was put in a position where I can ask for other people.
When you make negative comments about women, about marriage as property, I don't believe you believe that. First of all, there's nowhere in the Torah does it ever say that a woman is a possession or a property. As a matter of fact, just the opposite.
Wait. Ha'isha niknas, we buy the woman with three things: money,
and you pay through the nose. Because let me tell you something.
Oh, you always pay through the nose. Whatever you buy, you pay. Even if you buy television, it costs you a lot of money.
In the Jewish religion, women are kept on a pedestal. They're queens. So we do not treat women as chattel. And you know that.
Yes, I do. Especially,
okay.
Rabbi Toby, I didn't mean...
Can I whistle Ashes Chayil in the background? What should I do?
My children say it all the time. My children sing it. I wish I had last night to sing it.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
And the other thing I want to say is about your guest. People get excited about the title that she's using, rabbi. The term rabbi just means a teacher. So you can learn from a woman, you can learn from a man. So the term rabbi has really no significance. It's how you want to live your life. So her husband or ex-husband, Mark Schneier, whatever his name was,
yes,
I don't consider him to be a rabbi because he did not live the life of a rabbi. When you engage in activities that are against the Torah, how could you look at this person as being a teacher of anything or anybody?
Well, how are you judging then him? I mean,
Because to me, a rabbi.
He got what I understand from Rabbi Schneier. He got divorced. You did divorce him. I mean, and then he remarried somebody else. I don't know who it is. So maybe now according to all you people, he's repented, and he's because God forgives everybody. God allows you to repent. Now he's repented, and he has a new wife, and he's going to behave himself from now on, which we don't believe.
I believe
I just have to tell you that I hold by what the RCA has decided.
What is that?
That he no longer belongs to the RCA.
Really? Oh,
but,
wow.
But forget about. But the RCA has their own issue with Rabbi Frandel.
Yeah, but you know what?
So
I understand.
We have to stop giving. We have to stop giving certifications by certifiers. Who cares what the OU says? Who cares what the RCA say? Because they're all businesses and they're all hypocrites among themselves. I'm talking about people who practice Torah, taking the Torah and perverting it to their use.
Let's not call it pervert. We'll just say they lower it to their use.
They pervert it. They don't lower it. They pervert it. Heshy always makes comments about this religious rabbi. All because the person may be claiming to be religious doesn't mean that he is religious, Heshy. Yes. But you can't judge the religion by those who practice it or allegedly practice it.
You're right.
And you're constantly knocking. What I hear from you is you're constantly knocking the religion when you should be knocking the people who are practicing the religion.
No, the reason I knock the religion is because we all have decided, instead of sticking together, we all looked up to this great Donald Trump for many years.
I never looked up to Donald Trump.
A lot of people did.
And generalized.
He came back, and look at him. Thank God that he's dumped from NBC and all that, because I always knew he was an idiot. So that's why I go after these rabbis. I go after these people.
You always generalize. You take an example and you make it as if that is the population.
But it is. It is. Look at the city of New York. I generalize because they make us suffer. They make all of us suffer. When a rabbi or a religion lets their people hovel in a synagogue and they get up and they make us feel like little ants, and they try to crush our spirit when we're supposed to be built up. The rabbis and the religion and everybody. You walk down the street, you walk to a sick person, kiss them, hug them, build them, say, look at the Almighty, He gave you every day on this earth. Look up. Don't keep knocking him that you're going to go to hell. Don't tell me you're going to cook.
You need to have a disclaimer in this program, and the disclaimer has to be in the beginning of your show. The following: the views expressed in this show are not the views of Judaism.
I never said it was.
Unfortunately, when a person turns on your show at 6:20 from 7 to 9, and they hear the Narishkeit that comes out of your show, and I'm not putting you down, you're very entertaining.
Oh, thank you.
That's why he's a listener. Why didn't you turn the show off if it's so Narishkeit?
Because it's like Howard Stern. You can't shut it off.
Exactly.
Anyways.
Because you never know what he's going to say next. But you need a disclaimer because people will really think that this is what Judaism is all about, and it's not.
Can I ask you a question? I want to ask you one question before we're going to say goodbye to you. If I run for city council, or if I run against Dov Hikind for the assembly, would you vote for me?
I'll vote for you.
I don't live in Brooklyn. I live in Long Island.
Whatever. If you did live here, would you vote for me?
No, because I think you have too much baggage.
All right. I would save you. Thank you so much, caller. We'll talk to you again next week. Avram, the rabbi, we're going to take another call in 1 second. I want to just ask you, why did you get divorced the second time? How long were you married?
Oh, I was married 12 years.
Oh, we're building up time. 9, 12, next one will be 20.
No, the next one was shorter.
Oh, right. And you divorced him after you had you had Lola right away, I assume?
I had Lola pretty much
Pretty
right
much.
away, yeah.
But to what I understand is you were a little bit older when you had the Lola this time.
Yes.
And you weren't scared as a woman?
Yeah.
As a woman, you had her in your 30s or a little bit older?
No, I had her in my 30s.
And you weren't scared that, and a lot of women having older children, isn't that dangerous? Weren't you a little frightened at all?
I was.
And you look to God for the...
I had a lot of amuna. So, you know what? I had amuna, science, amuna, a good doctor.
Okay.
And a bracha from the Lulav Rebbe.
Oh, another one that I have a lot to say about.
The Lulav Rebbe that passed away.
A lot to say about him. A lot
that I had, but it wasn't easy. I had a miscarriage before her and a miscarriage after her, so it wasn't an easy.
But it wasn't because of the age. It was just...
No, it wasn't because of the age, because of other factors. But the truth is, if I could sit down with my daughter and say, don't do what I did and actually be able to get away with that, I would say, don't wait.
What do you think about women having children in their 40s, which I'm against 100%, even though I'm thinking of having another baby right now?
Are you in your 40s?
I'm in my 50s. She's in the 40s, and looks like that since they're legalizing pot, I've been smoking too much of it,
okay.
Which I'm against. I'm not having another baby. But go ahead. But what do you think that women should not...
I didn't even follow what you said. You want to have another baby? You don't
I was joking about it.
I just want to know.
I was just telling you about medication.
Listen, the truth. Okay. So I'll answer your medicated self. And I'll say that, as long as women could have children, kol hakavod.
Even if you can't afford it?
If you can't afford it.
But babies, according to the Torah, you must always have. And a lot of my people and listeners say, hey, if you're poor, you have no right to have children. Isn't that stupid?
Nobody could tell you have no right to have children. We don't live in China.
Right. Okay.
I mean, that's the number one mitzvah.
You're trying to get away easy. We're going to get to the third marriage in a minute.
Give
us another caller, producer. Push a button for us. Give us somebody.
Another caller?
Of course, we haven't been picking up calls because he's very angry at me. Go ahead, caller. We have hello. Hello, you're on the air.
But I haven't been called. What's a female apikoros?
Oh,
apikoreses?
Oh, I have to write that down.
Apikoreses.
Apikoreses. I'm going to use that because tomorrow in shul, I'm going to get it real good. They're going to come after me. I think they're going to throw me out. But
apikoreses.
I'm happy I bought the whole bench so I can just move to the other side. Hello, caller. How are you?
How you doing? It's Mitch. How you doing, Hesh?
Hello, Mitch. How are you? I hope you heard that last caller who hates me right now.
Well, listen, I love you, and I love Toby, and I love people. I don't care. Listen, let me tell you something. First of all, Toby, how you doing?
Thank you. Apparently, you love me, so I think.
Yeah,
that's great.
I do. Let me tell you something. My late wife, who Heshy knows, I unfortunately lost her just a few years ago in her mid-40s. Oh. And I will tell, by the way, all people out there, let's get a cure for pancreatic cancer.
I agree.
All right, I agree.
All right, Toby.
Yes.
Did you get your learns from Columbia JTS?
Did I get my what?
Did you get your rabbinical degree from Columbia JTS?
No, I did not.
No, I'm curious because we didn't get into that. Where did you get your rabbinical degree?
I got my rabbinical degree from JSLI, which is a non-denominational seminary that deals mostly with the armed forces and chaplaincy.
Okay, cool. What I wanted to say to people out there who have this major problem with conservative women rabbis, reform women rabbis, twofold. First of all, and this is very important, there are a lot of women out there who specifically go into a rabbinical degree for one purpose. They love Torah. They love learning. I have a friend, a very close friend for many years. She went to Yeshiva Flatbush High School, Brooklyn, and she went to JTS Columbia, smart girl, and she wanted to forget about the head of head of a congregation. She wanted to work in a hospital with sick people, and she loves her work, and that's the type of work she does. In other words, she's there in a hospital when people are ill and they need to talk to spiritual leader.
Right, right.
And that is why there's all kinds of people going to different fields of rabbinical. And as far as the Orthodox out there, you better be careful, because let me tell you something. There was a rabbi that I'm sure you know, Toby, who was on the air for many years. His name was Rabbi Yitz. He was an Orthodox rabbi. He mentioned many times that he sees in the future the possibility of rabbinical degrees given on the Orthodox sect of Judaism. And I'm telling you, it's not like Catholicism.
Well,
we don't go by the situation, oh, priests can't be women because Jesus did blah, blah. Judaism is changing every year for specific things. Well, do you know, Heshy, that many years ago that people couldn't be donors in any way when it came to when you died to be to donate
living donor.
Things like art and things. But now they do, thank God. And how many people now, because they donate stuff, are living beautiful, wonderful lives? So I want to tell people out there, don't have a closed mind. And again, I want to say to both of you, Toby and Heshy, I love you both. And Esty, please have a safe trip in Israel and be careful. You know what I mean? I want to hear some nice stories when you come back.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for the call. You're wonderful. So, Toby, first of all,
having somebody call.
Somebody who didn't scream at me. I know.
Isn't that nice? You're probably not used to that.
I'm not. But he's a very nice man, and I do believe in. We should support pancreatic cancer. We should try to
support getting rid of it.
Support getting rid of it. We should find something to do with it, and I should have something that I would like to do.
Are you still getting yelled? I've never heard anyone get beeped and bothered so much like you.
Today they're really after me.
Why? Because you have a girl on?
I have a lady that's smarter than me. Usually I'm smarter. I'm the smartest. Okay. But I have a question for you.
I wish I went to JTS.
If you had a leak in your house, what would you do? You'd call a plumber. It was leading into a commercial.
First of all, my daddy was a plumber.
Okay, no problem. So
I'm a plumber's daughter.
So I want you to know, if you have a leak,
you call the plumber, a licensed plumber of New York City.
Right, you call Anthony at 347-728-9675. He does pipe repair, boiler service. He did a beautiful boiler for my mother-in-law with hot water.
Boilers are
beautiful. He cleans sewers and drains. 347-728-9675. I like Anthony. Tell Anthony that Uncle Heshy told you to call, and he will take good care of you. He's really very good. He does the job right, and he gets rid of the leak. And this way, if Toby, you have a leak, you're going to call my Anthony.
I'm going to call
Anthony. I hope you don't have any leaks. So now we're holding at...
what were we holding at?
We're holding at... so you divorced
we talked
number
about
2.
Childbirth.
You divorced number 2 guy.
We got divorced.
Was it what was it?
Not to be discussed.
Not to be discussed. Good. I'm happy we skip over that one. Like Passover, you just skip over this.
That's it, next.
And then you met this
personality,
a movie star, the rabbi to the stars.
I wouldn't say
because
you
are
I wouldn't say a movie star
because you're a personality yourself. What I understand is you bought a lion.
Yes, I did.
An actual physical lion.
Yes.
Wow, you are cool.
No, I just happen to be very, very creative.
So I see
very creative, and I said I want a lion in the Jerusalem Zoo, and a lion was found in Krakow. Actually, it's a lion that existed in the time of King David, and there's only 450 of them left in the world.
Wow.
There's probably less now, and so it's an actual it's actual Lion of Judah.
Oh,
so a real Lion of Judah. I mean, the actual lion that roamed at that time.
Wow.
And so it's in the Jerusalem Zoo. I haven't visited the Jerusalem.
Oh well, you should. When I go, you should see Israel with me.
No,
I've
been there since. I just haven't visited the zoo.
I know all the back.
I need to rename my lion.
I never went to the Jerusalem because I was so busy.
Beautiful.
I know. I just so much to see in Israel. All the roads, the back roads, the little people who live in hovels, and you step into the houses on the holidays. Everybody votes.
It's wonderful.
That is a neighborhood. I'm not talking just to Jews, but that is something that we should learn from, to be good to our fellow man and woman. And that's my teaching all the time. People don't like my ideas, my subjects, my theologies. I'm sorry. I am not a hater of man. I'm a fan of man. A famous line from Al Pacino's movie. I'm a fan of man. Right. I love people, men and women. Okay, I love them all. Do good. Go out there, love, and do charity, and do whatever you can. I'm not asking you to give money. I'm not asking
Give yourself.
Give yourself. Serve your country by just doing some kindness. So now you married this rabbi to the
We'll
stars.
call him a personality.
A personality. You got it. And he built this great one. Steven Spielberg is one of his congregants.
So he claims.
But my question is he's an Orthodox rabbi. Whatever the deal is, that's what he claims he is. And he allowed people to drive to his synagogue on Shabbos. He allowed people to break the religion. And that's acceptable by any rabbi? It's not only a question to him. I mean, you saw what was going on. You didn't question him. Hey, we're Orthodox. This shouldn't work like this.
I did not help build this synagogue. The synagogue was built before me by wife 1, 2, and 3. I was just 4.
You're number 4.
Yeah.
Now he has number 5.
And there'll be 6, 7, 8, 9,
No
10.
way.
But whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a successful congregation in which I find that although they, in my case, did not treat me well, I'm not going to smear them. Nor am I going to judge them. They have bigger people that'll judge them in the end, not me.
You're wonderful. I tell you something. I can't believe that you don't have the hate in you, and it seems to you like you've forgiven. I don't forgive a lot of the people.
Well,
I might.
The truth is when you don't forgive, the only thing that happens is you eat your own kishkas out. The person that you haven't forgiven, they sleep at night.
I know
pretty well,
and it's not right.
And I'm not.
It's not.
You're
right.
It's not right. You're absolutely right. But
and again, God's not helping.
But I do have to tell you. First of all, you don't know what God is doing. The stories. First of all, your movie is never over till you're dead.
That's what my son tells me. He says God punished you this way, so later on you won't be punished worse.
First of all, your movie's not over, and there's a wonderful Indian message that says, if you have the patience to sit by the river, the body of your enemy will surely float by.
Wow. Interesting. I would like while he floats by for me to stick something into it as well.
He's dead. Just take a chair.
No, it makes me happy. Makes me happy to stick something else.
I can't tell you that I wasn't angry. I can't tell you that it didn't affect me. But you're talking to the new and improved version.
Yes. Than
what I was, but it did affect me a great deal. It did have residual effects.
How long are you divorced now?
It's now it's just 2011, so wow. 4 years.
Too long. We don't have. We're running out of time. We've got to get rookie to number 4 already.
I don't know. I just like it's hard. I've been told I'm intimidating. Is that true?
No, you're wonderful.
I've been told I'm intimidating.
I would love to see you at the Shabbos table. I would love to see
is fun.
The way you sing.
I make a great Shabbos.
Oh
also.
Wow! My Shabbos table's fun. I let them do whatever they want. They argue with me. They don't like my Torah, and they try to shut me up after 2 minutes. But I think I have some very interesting parts.
You do.
Producer,
yes.
We're going to take one of our favorite callers. His name is Norman. He doesn't believe in God at all.
Oh, he's an atheist.
And not only an atheist, he sometimes gets angry with me. So, Norman, we're here with the rabbi. Let's go. What do you got to say to Rabbi Toby tonight?
Well, I have this to say. I have one thing in common with her, and that's I was one of the top displaymen in New York City for about 25 years. I used to do windows for a lot of the most expensive ladies' clothing and shoe stores. And I'm not going to get into that anymore.
Oh wow, that's an incredible art, doing window display.
Yeah, I had a nice, rewarding career, and I'm a very humble person.
Do you still do that?
No. Oh. I got sick of the people in the business world. They make me want to puke.
Any business.
Yeah, but I didn't like dealing with wealthy people, and I'm not.
Oh, come on!
Listen, I didn't.
Okay.
And anyway.
But Norman, I have a question for you. Norman, I have one question for you. Norman, since I don't have Esther here tonight, I have you. What show are you calling into?
Is it the Steve Summers show?
Wow! Did you just make a joke?
It's the yes. Good. Do you have a sense of humor?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it's the Uncle Heshy Show. And
Just Enough Heshy Show at 718-303-9090. You can call in and you can get us again on YouTube and all that Just Enough Heshy, Twitter and Facebook. So call in, everybody, and we might take your call because my producer is very upset with me. I don't think I'm getting a ride home tonight.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, no.
he'll drive you. Listen, you know what? If you don't interrupt me, so...
Oh, let him speak.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, because Heshy always interrupts.
Always.
And then I forget what I'm even going to say.
No, you were talking about your profession. And can I just ask you a question? Did you see the exhibit of the Poochie mannequins?
No.
Oh, you should.
Well, you know what?
You would enjoy it.
Rabbi Toby.
I used to buy mannequins from a company called Conneticut.
Oh, yeah.
They made beautiful, great mannequins.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did was I turned ladies' clothing stores into boutiques by bringing in expensive mannequins and doing department store windows in private.
Private. Wow.
Well, Norman,
great.
let's get on the real subject.
Okay, now let me tell you what I want to say about Uncle Heshy.
Oh, I want you to talk about Rabbi Toby. Everybody knows Uncle Heshy's crazy.
Listen, first of all, Uncle Heshy has a lot of problems. And
she figured that out already. Did you figure that out, Rabbi Toby?
I figured that out.
She's choking on the soda.
And I'm not. I don't mean to say this in a mean way, but he needs therapy.
We all do.
Well, listen. You know what Heshy reminds me of at times? If you ever saw a Frankenstein movie, and the guy, he says to the mob, "We got to get the monster." And they run through the forest with their torches chasing the monster. Well, Heshy in his own mind has certain kind of monsters, and he scares me because he's the kind of guy that I feel could turn people into a mob. It's just like the rabbi that he had on the other day.
Rabbi Mizrahi?
Yeah, I think that guy belongs in Happy Dale Sanitarium. He's a very belligerent, angry, unloving person. If I was a child and had to deal with that man, I'd be terrified of him.
He's an Orthodox rabbi who believes in a very strict way.
He came on the show and he said to Esty, because he was very belligerent to her because she started questioning him of his insanity. And he became belligerent. And then he said to her, "You have no common sense." And then he said to Neil, "You have no common sense." And then he says to Heshy, "You have no common sense."
No, he called me ignorant.
That's right.
That's
and you know what? If
Yeah.
it was my show, I would have said, "Rabbi Mizrahi, I'm opening up the door. I want you to leave my..."
No, I'm welcoming to everybody. I believe everybody has a right to their opinion.
Listen, I'm just saying that's what I would have done. And the reason I don't like things that Heshy says is because he's bigoted towards women. He says that they're second-class citizens. If my daughter heard that, she'd laugh, And also, he's bigoted towards gay people, which makes it scary.
I'm not bigoted. I just have my own theories.
You know what? He makes it scary for gay people. He segregates them.
I don't. I like gay people. I'm just telling you, don't. If you want to be gay, don't be heterosexual. Make up your mind.
Listen, why don't you just keep your nose out other people's sexuality? He talks like a child when it comes to sexuality. He told me, "Oh, you're my official movie critic." So when I recommend movies to him, "Oh, I don't like this movie. I don't like that movie." You know why? Because it makes him think the kind of movies that I recommend.
So what's the movie of the July 4th? Yeah,
he can't break out of his box.
Okay, so can I ask you a question? This is a very big movie weekend coming up, July 4th weekend. Do you have any recommendations for this weekend?
Oh, gosh.
No, I don't know any new movies. So I recommend things from recent. Well, you know what? I don't know anything now, but I like to recommend Woody Allen films because they do make you think. And there are other when I recommend foreign films, I've never heard anybody on the show, and I've been calling up since the beginning of the show. I've never heard anybody call up and say, "Gee, I saw that movie," because most of the people I think that listen to his show can't have TVs and can't have radios.
Not true.
Well, they can't have radios, and they obviously can't listen to the show.
Right. So Norman, anyways, you got 2 minutes. You got to tell us something quick, fast before we got it. We got other callers, and we
have a movie. I have a movie recommendation for you.
Please.
You should see The Golden Lady. About the famous painting that was part of the Nazi looting. About this Jewish woman that reclaimed it and won it, and it's great. It's with Helen Mirren. It's a fantastic, fantastic movie.
She's a great actress.
It's a great movie. I recommend that, and of course, I can't wait to see the Minions because I'm like a Despicable fan.
Oh really?
I love those little Minions.
I can't wait for Mission Impossible 4. I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
one.
well,
I don't like Tom Cruise.
I love
he
Tom
annoys
Cruise.
the crap out of me.
Listen,
he's handsome, though.
I don't care.
Okay.
Listen, that's the kind of films Heshy will say, "Oh, I didn't like this film, but Mission Impossible, it has the great Tom Cruise in it." But listen, I'll recommend. There's a film, and it's a great book. It was written by Pete Hamill. It's called Snow in August. You could see it for free on YouTube. It has great actors in it. It's a story of a rabbi who comes to the United States in 1947, and he makes friends with a Catholic altar boy. He's put in charge of a synagogue in Brooklyn, and this film is not only about the relationship between the rabbi and the altar boy, it has to deal with Jackie Robinson, because 47 was the year that Jackie played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. It has to deal with anti-Semitism, racism, and it's a great, great movie. And the other film I would tell you to see is a film called The Motorcycle Diaries. So if you want to see a foreign film that's about love and joy, it's a beautiful, beautiful
Norman,
movie.
thank you for the call tonight. We love you again, and we will be. I do love you, Norman.
Happy July 4th.
Happy July 4th.
Take
Norman.
care.
Take care, Norman. We love you, anyways. So, Rabbi, now that you heard our regular caller, Norman, right? He is Pip.
I still don't know why you called in.
I don't know either. You should have asked you an interesting question. So, so I'm back to you again, if you don't mind.
Yes.
So, you divorced the rabbi number 3. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know. I lost count. Husband number 3.
We got divorced. Yeah.
And you divorced, and now the point is, you said you've forgiven him, or you've.
I've moved past.
Should women who go through what you've gone through, and
it's very difficult.
Do they need therapy?
Yes.
They do need it. There's no question about it. You can't just get over it.
No, you can't get over it. No.
You can't. And
if you can just get over something, then you were never in it to begin with.
And a woman cheats on a man.
It doesn't matter either way. Betrayal and disloyalty is something that is, if you really care about that person, it pierces your heart.
Is that against the Torah? Is that against the teachings? Betrayal? I've never heard the word betrayal.
I believe it is. I believe it is. I really do believe it is. To betray somebody and to hurt somebody that you love so much. Listen, the Gemara says if you make a woman cry, this is you'll be punished for that.
It's the second time I'm hearing that tonight. Is that really true?
Yes.
You mean you're telling me that in 25 years that I've been married, I've had a few, not too many arguments. I'm sure she's cried once or twice, so I'm in big trouble. And what happens when I cry? I mean, I never cry, but if she made me cry, that's not. A
woman is, we're not equal. We're not the same. I shouldn't say that. I should say we're equal, but we're not the same. Equality doesn't mean we're exactly the same. We're equal, but we're not the same.
But your women cry so easily on the drop of a hat. I know a woman sued a man, a big guy. She won $18 million because he sexually harassed her. What does that mean, sexually harassed her? I say you're pretty. I say you're cute. I have to pay $18 million?
Oh, that was an interesting lawsuit.
Very interesting lawsuit.
Yeah, but it's not because he didn't sexually harass.
He said some words.
It was more complicated.
You're telling me when you walk down the street and somebody whistles at you, you're going to go start suing them?
No, at this age, I welcome it. At this age, I go, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I bless them, actually, when they whistle now.
So
I make a bracha now when I get whistled on the streets. That's what I do.
I love you. You're wonderful. So now I have another question. I'm just going to keep throwing this stuff at you. You got that? Mm-hmm. And I don't want you to again get angry at me. So now you are a fashion.
I'm in a boxing ring.
You're not in a boxing ring.
No, not at all.
I'm being honest with you about it. Your faith. But when you went through this terrible,
my faith was challenged,
and
big time.
And What do you mean by challenge? Did you give up? Did you say, God,
you know what?
I don't forgive you. I'm not yours.
I'm going to tell you the story. I'll tell you the story. If you don't interrupt me,
I promise you I won't interrupt you.
Okay, I'll tell you
the story. It's shocking, but I won't.
Shocking. Okay. When this happened to me, because it was...
How did you find out, by the way?
It doesn't make a difference.
Doesn't make a difference. Okay, another thing we're going to skip over.
We're going to skip over how I found out. Let's just say I was the last one to know.
Oh, my God.
But what happened is because it was a betrayal of not only a relationship, of a love, it was also a betrayal of faith, because here I am. It's betrayal in my faith, because I'm in you're an Orthodox Rebbitzin, an Orthodox, we'll call it Orthodox in quotations, loose interpretation of Orthodox. Nonetheless, it was a challenge of faith. And because it was also a public challenge of faith, it was very, very difficult for me. And when I kept reading in article after article after article for almost a year that I was termed wife number 4 and had no identity, I'm like prisoner number 6, wife number 4, I got extremely agitated. And at first, I wanted revenge, like you. So my revenge was, well, I'm going to become a rabbi, so that when they Google Rabbi Schneier, there'll be 3 of us that come up. Rabbi Arthur Schneier,
right.
Rabbi Mark Schneier, and Rabbi Toby Rubenstein Schneier. And there's nothing they could do about it. I wanted to stick it, but good. It's like steal the Yerusha. I'm going to take
Rabbi
that.
Schneier. It was great.
I'm going to stick it. And what I did was I have a very, very frum family in Borough Park, very frum. And I went there and I'm very close to them, and they're Hasidish. And I went there on a Hanukkah Suda, and I walked in and I said, okay, listen, I have something I need to ask you. And they said, okay, what? In that world, I'm called Tobalea. And I said, Tobalea.
Wow, very nice.
So Tobalea, what are you going to do now? And I said, look, I'm going to just ask you permission, because I don't want you to be embarrassed. I said, I want to be a rabbi. I want to go back to school. I want to be a rabbi. I want to be Rabbi Schneier. I thought for sure, like, I'm going to get killed. It's like, isn't it enough that we have to read about you every day in the Jerusalem Post and Ynet and in Sechabusha and Achlima and Acherpa and every other word with the ch in it.
I love that.
And so my uncle just popped out of his chair, and this is a family with Stramos, Bekeshers, Gartels, the whole 9 yards. And he said to me, Tobalea, if after everything what you've been through, if you want to learn Torah, you have our full support. And I said, okay. He said, because we were prepared for you to go completely off the derech. You were and we would have been okay with that. We would have understood. We get it. You tried every way possible, and the last one just said, that's it. I turn it all in. So I went back to school, and I remember that every week, you have to give a part of the lessons was you had to give a sermon. So I would practice my sermon on my father. So here I am then now learning with my father every single week, which was hysterical, because my father said to me, and over my dead body, they're going to be female rabbis. And the revenge, the nakama, literally turned into my salvation, because as I started learning more, I did my Shabbos again. I did my Shabbos table again. I started inviting people again. I became more alive. So my nakama became my salvation. And really, going back to rabbinical school was the best therapy that I ever had. And this path that I took, I could have said, you know what, I'm done. I'm finished. Here I am, this, famous, Orthodox rabbi with this huge congregation that's got every chief rabbi hanging from the chandeliers. What happened? And I'm the one that, I was the victim. So where did this all how did this all get turned around on me? So instead of saying, you know what, it's not like the first caller, it's not the religion, it's the people. And I had to learn to separate that. And the more that I learned, which I learned far more than I ever learned in Beis Yaakov, and I keep learning more and more, I learned how rich and magnificent Judaism is. And I distracted the people that don't practice it or don't understand it. That's their problem. It's not my problem. This is not what, that's not what, you don't want to follow the path of what Hashem intended. And it doesn't mean rules and regulations. There's more to it than rules and regulations. You have to realign your neshama before you actually worry about your tzniut. You have to be tzniut on the inside, not the outside. The inside is more important, and then everything else comes out from the outside. So that path saved me. So this whole thing was a challenge to my faith, and I never thought in the end that I would turn out to have more faith in my religion and God, because that's all you. And when you go through a really great tragedy in life, and this was a great tragedy for me, whether somebody else thinks so or not is also not relevant. But the only thing you have left is your faith. There is nothing. You can't rely on anybody else. There is only one thing. There are many nights that you got just what am I going to do?
Right.
What am I going to do? And really, part of the thing that heals me now is I have an app on my phone, Chabad.org, and I listen to shiurim as much as I possibly can. Wow. And I really am a great believer in separating the people from the religion. That's just the people. That's their interpretation of it. And there's good and there's bad. There's Yetzer Hara and there's Yetzer Tov, and there's a battle every single day going on in your head between those two.
Wow.
And it's your decision whether who's going to win or not. You have to walk it.
You're a special person. You're wonderful. Did he ever ask for forgiveness? Did he apologize?
No.
Nothing?
No.
And that's acceptable?
No.
Can I ask you a personal question?
What?
Did you meet Steven Spielberg?
Many times, but not through him.
Oh, not through. Is he a cool guy?
He's a very nice
But he married
guy.
a non-Jew.
She's Jewish. She converted.
She converted
yes,
Orthodox?
Lubavitch, yes.
No.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
She's a famous actress.
Yes, Kate, whatever her last name was.
And I know his mother's religious.
Yes, and his sisters.
And his sisters, but he became not religious. Because he drives on Shabbos.
Okay, all right, so.
But breaking the Shabbos is worse than murder.
Listen,
that's what I'm told.
I don't necessarily think that breaking the Shabbos is worse than murder, but that's definitely it's not for me to say. He just happens to be a very, very nice man, very, very humble, very, very family oriented, and gives a lot of tzedakah. Especially the Chabad, Children of Chernobyl. I mean, he's very special. And look at the Shoah Foundation. The whole Shoah would be lost without him. So if that is his mission in life, his tikkun, that's his.
We're coming to the end of the show. I want to hear a message, not for me, because I'm lost.
You're not lost.
I'm lost.
You're not lost. You know what? When you stop arguing,
I can't do what you did.
When you stop arguing, you'll be lost.
I'm never going to stop arguing.
The fact that you're still angry is that you're not.
Would you vote for me if I ran for city council? I love you. You're going to be one of my famous backers. I know you're going to lie to me. Oh my God, I don't know who he is. Click, hang up the phone.
No, I'm not. I'm a very nice person. I'm just.
Mama, tell me it's me. Oh, I don't know. Who are you?
Who are you? No, listen, we came together because of our very close friend Rivki. We love Rivki.
Rivki is, I know her for she is a wonderful girl. And she does a lot of, do you know that she helps out a lot of cancer people?
I know. See, she's always running.
Pick up somebody, drive them to the hospital. Right. A little thing like that, and you don't know how people are. And she does. She picks people up. She drives into hospital whether they need it or not. That girl is going straight through
and look how she takes care of her family's legacy. Her father.
Wonderful.
If I tell you, if Orthodox, if that world, because I don't know what to call them, so I'm not going to label them. If that world would accept a woman taking over her father's shul, that would be hers.
Right.
That would be 100%.
They all love her. They all love her. She's very special.
100% hers. It should be hers.
Well,
that's it. We didn't even get to, how many guys gave me rings? I should be married 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
And why did you turn them down? The ring wasn't big enough. The ring wasn't big enough, I might tell you.
You didn't say it was an engagement ring. You just said ring. You have to be more specific.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Again, I'm just a lonely man. Compared to you, I'm number 2. The men are number 2. We're lower class. The women are number 1.
No. Well, according to some Midrashim, that's true.
Really?
But surely according to Kabbalah.
Kabbalah?
Yes.
Do you believe in the Kabbalah thing?
Well, I believe in the Kabbalah thing.
Because Kabbalah is magic. You could disappear. You could become invisible. You could control them. I mean, I've never seen it. And all my friends and all the thousands of people I've met throughout the world, I've never seen anybody control or change the weather, control society, disappear, do something to somebody. It's just, I've never seen these mythical.
Listen,
I've gone to lots of rabbis, even your local rabbi, and not one of their blessings or brachas have ever come true.
You know what? I'm only going to say, as I said in the beginning of the show, which one of your listeners kind of cut me down. it's the delusion, deluded. It's delusion of the spirituality that we can't do that. But can I say that the Arizal was not an incredible mystic?
I never said he wasn't a holy rabbi, but the
he was
stories
the Kabbalah.
But they tell us stories that we don't have proof of.
He has, he authenticated the reintroduction of the Kabbalah. I'm not talking about the Kabbalah Center where movie stars go to. We're talking about the real,
another con man.
Yeah. Well, I don't listen. He's not around anymore. His wife is doing very, very well.
Right.
Listen, she took over. God bless her. She has an empire. I'm happy.
But it's a fake. It's a con.
Listen, to me, it's not a con.
Religion is a con.
When someone tells me about the Kabbalah, I say like this: listen, I want to be a plastic surgeon. So, because I want to do I want to do my own facelift. But you know what? You got to go to medical school first, and you got to specialize, and then you got to specialize again, and then you have to hone your craft. I said, Kabbalah is that way. If you're going to skip all the good stuff and just think you're a Kabbalist, it's ridiculous.
Oh, that's
what it is.
I want to skip it and go right to magic.
I want to be a doctor without going to medical school.
Right.
I want to be a magician without learning. I want to be, the smartest person in the world without getting an education. That's what I equate the Kabbalah Center with.
I'm not sure if we have another call. Do we have time for one more caller? I think we got one more caller.
Is this a friendly caller?
I hope so.
Actually, please. I hope it's a hostile one because those are so much more fun.
Right.
I hate when people agree with me. It's so boring. It's like, yeah. Okay.
I was being threatened. That's why I was being nice to you right now because somebody pointed that finger at me and they quit again. So I don't want my. Hello, caller. What's your name? Hello.
Are you a friendly caller?
Yes.
Hello, my name is Randy Gutman.
Hello, Randy Gutman. How are you?
Good. I'm a friend of Toby.
Randy, you are a great man. This is a great man.
Hello, Randy. She pointed to the computer and said you're a great man.
This is a great man.
How are you, Randy?
Good. I'm calling from my hometown of Lawrence, Long Island, and we actually produced the film, and Toby is in the film. We're looking forward to it coming out soon.
Why did you tell me this, Toby?
I have a very exciting life.
You do.
I have to tell you, there's a reason why I don't talk Lashon Hara, because my life's too damn exciting to talk about anybody else's. What do I care?
You're great. Wow. What's the name of the film?
Well, the name of the film we can't actually.
It's a very controversial film about orthodoxy.
I would love to see it. I want to go to that one.
Okay. Well, not really It's controversial to an extent. However, it's biased towards the religious community. Okay, so it's biased. However, it is controversial. It will be coming out hopefully within 6 months or so. It's still going through the process of editing, and then it goes to all the film festivals, and hopefully it should be out right after that.
Wow. And hopefully I can add movie star to my title.
Rabbi, movie star, Rebbitzin, you are
all in.
World travel. You are. I'm so lucky. You are one of our famous guests. I'm gonna have to post you on our webpage.
I don't know if Rabbi Mizrahi is going to think that way. He's probably he's probably benching Goimel for being.
Randy, thank you so much, Randy. Anything else to say to us before we close up the show?
Basically, Toby is great. We're fond of her. We think that she's wonderful. We're a big fan of Toby Rubenstein-Schneier, and I hope her career moves on, and she does very well.
She will.
Thank you.
And we'll be dancing at her wedding soon. Thank you, Randy, for your call.
Thank you, Randy.
Rabbi Toby, you are one of my wonderful guests. I love you. I want to be your friend. First of all, we have a webpage, a website, something that we can find you, email you.
Yes, you can. On Facebook, you can try and get me on Facebook and all of my pages. Rabbi Toby Rubenstein-Schneier, The House of Faith and Fashion, Toby Rubenstein-Schneier, but then go to my new website of www.tahor Group, TAHOR, like Tahor Group, and learn all about the fashion business and this great event that's coming up in September with Horse and Carriages and the city of New York and the Teamsters, and it's going to be absolutely wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's a wonderful guest. I can't believe that she stuck with me for 2 hours alone.
2 hours. I co-hosted.
She co-hosted. You see, this is a real co-host. She's a pro. I want you all to know, please tune in again next week to the Just Enough Heshy show. And you can get me on justenoughheshy@gmail.com. You can Twitter me. I have a lot of Twitters and emails. I will be replying. I will be nasty. No, I won't be. I'll be nice, Rabbi Toby, because you're telling me to repent and to forgive. So I'll do that kindly.
Really? I'm telling you, park yourself in front of 770 and
I do.
This is a place that you'll get healed.
I used to go to the OL
I
and help them open up.
think
I did a lot of. Well, I've been a lot. I've traveled the world. I've seen a lot of different communities. So I will try to learn from you tonight, to forgive and try to do more learning and try to be better. I'm going to close my show, which I do every time. I always do a quote in the middle of the show, but we were arguing so much that we went right to the mid-commercial, and my producer was so angry, didn't even tell me about it. So I'm going to give you a closing quote, and you might like this one. And this is by my great-great-great-uncle, George Washington Tischler. Always keep in mind the old adage, people remember a lot longer the hurt and the wrongdoing done to them than the service and loving kindness done for them. Remember, there's always a price to pay, even after we say we are sorry. But try anyways to fix the wrong and forgive the past. No, ladies and gentlemen, that's not me. That was not me. Rabbi Toby's the one who really wants that message.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Everybody, I want you to go out, do a little good service. July 4th weekend is coming. Enjoy your barbecues. Enjoy. Oh, we can't even have one. It's a fast day. The temple, they broke down the brand new the walls. So remember the past. Remember the good. Try to do good. I love all of you. Tune back into the Just Enough Heshy show next week. And don't forget your Uncle Heshy. And if you have somebody scream at, good night.